Well, good morning, everyone. Like to welcome you to Nechama Center. Nechama is a Hebrew word for comfort and consolation. Our goal is to provide comfort to those who are seeking restoration and a safe place to authentically seek your truth and find your journey. We are a 508c1a faith-based organization. Um, yeah. Our faith in the divine or the source, community, and plant based sacraments stem from prehistoric beliefs and practices by our ancestors and personal experiences of our modern members. Contemplative practices, community support, honor and respect of the journey, and plant based sacraments are the core to ascending to the divine. Our sacraments are the greatest creations that nature offers, raising our awareness to the divine so that we can access a direct connection to the source of life. It is our sincere belief that contemplative practices and sacraments bring us closer to what is commonly called God. We understand this concept of God as pure consciousness which permeates all beings. This pure consciousness, we believe, is the ineffable source of creation and the origin of health and well being. Our vision and mission. Our vision and mission is to provide a sacred and safe space for the connection of the community in support of mental, physical, and spiritual ascension to the divine in all creation. We believe that all life needs comfort and connectivity to achieve restoration. By having a sacred and safe place, people can fashion their own spiritual journey. Nechama Center is a safe and private setting that provides guidance and integration for those seeking spiritual restoration. We are bringing people together for healing and connection to divine revelation through community and communion with contemplative practices and sacred medicines. We ask you, please, to mute your mics. Our service will be about 30 minutes and will be recorded and posted on YouTube for community viewing. We will begin with a short guided meditation, followed by 2 readings to facilitate our journal prompts and the discussion that follows the service. We will have announcements and updates prior to our 60 to 90-minute discussion. And we invite you now to find a comfortable space to settle in and be present as we begin our service. Just as the colors of the rainbow unite to make one light, God far above and God deep within, the divine and Shekinah unite in community. Transcendence unites with immanence, one and one become one. We join together in community, together reflecting the divine's splendor. We are the colors of the rainbow, uniting to make one light. The glorious holy throne is here where we meet, ready for the divine to rest upon us. This sacred space uplifts us, here where electrons dance and the interplay of being and nothingness draws our hearts together, binary code flickering through space, making us present to each other and to the radiance of this day. We crown her from below. She enfolds us in new supernal souls, so that our service be blissful and praiseful, joyful and radiant, as with shining faces we approach our prayer. Let us take a few moments to speak silently to our divine and meditate on our prayer. While still in this mindfulness centered state, I invite us all to place our hands on our heart as we take a few moments to send loving intention to our land, our ancestors, and the divine for healing through community, contemplative practice, sacrament, and spiritual awakening. Without the Creator, communion of our members, and these sacred gifts, this community would not exist. The healing done by the Creator through community, contemplative practices, and sacraments is not limited to the times when we commune and consume, but extends into all aspects of our lives and spreads like the mycelium around the world. It is through intention and attention that we call forth the healing power of the divine. The contemplative practices, the sacrament, and the community that have formed around our common understandings. Let us use our ever expanding awareness to bring greater peace and healing to our world. Let us radiate gratitude from our hearts to our Creator, to our community, and to those who nurture healing. For these gifts impart healing to those who commune with love and sincerity. As we become aware of the oneness of life, the knowing that we live in all things and all things live in us, let us apply this understanding to all of our relationships and aid us in our journey as members of the human family. We use many texts, and we believe that no single text holds all truths. I believe there is someone trying to gain access, and our meeting closes once we start. I am sorry for those that have tried to access the meeting. When we start our breakout session for our conversation, I can let you back in. Our first reading. Richard, can you do this one? You'll have to turn your camera back on. There you go.
For today's reading, in a real sense, all life is interrelated. All men are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be, And you can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be. This is Interrelated Structure of Reality by Martin Luther King. The second one is It's a good thing to be in sync with each other on Earth. Now, more and more studies are emerging that show how and why it's so important for our own health, our connectivity to others, how we get along with others, and so on. This is really new science. We're beginning to understand the importance of and the depth of synchronization that we have. I can't tell you how many times I have said, well, on some level, we're all connected, and science is now starting to show how we are fundamentally synchronized with the Earth by Roland McCarthy, PhD, in Heart Math Institute. All human beings are united by birth, life, death, and even every emotion in between by Jung Pueblo, clarity and connection.
Thank you. You can go ahead and mute and turn off your camera. Thank you. So with these readings, take a few moments to journal. What does interconnectedness mean to you? What feelings, thoughts, and ideas did this reading bring up for you? And I'm going to go back for those that have joined us. So you can look at the readings in case you missed it. We're just going to take a few minutes and journal. Take a few more seconds, wrap up our journaling for our second reading. All right. So we'll look at a few of the sacred texts that tell us about the interconnectedness of things. These are a few quotes from various sacred texts. This, the first one comes from Hinduism. What they believe is Tat Tavam Asi, you are that. The Upanishads Brahman and Atman, the phrase you are that emphasizes the unity of the individual soul, the Atman, and the universal spirit, Brahman, and asserts that all beings are manifestations of the same divine essence. In Buddhism, they believe in the doctrine of dependent origination, also known as, I'm going to mess this one up, Pratityasamutpeda. When this is, that is. This arising, that arises. When this is not, that is not. This ceasing, that ceases. This is taken from Majjhima Nikaya 79 and teaches the interconnectedness of all phenomena, illustrating that nothing exists in isolation and all events are interdependent. In Taoism, the Tao Te Ching believes in something called the Tao or the Way. The Tao is the source of all things. It nourishes them, sustaining them, caring for them, and comforting them. This is from chapter 51. Indigenous spirituality believe in a web of life. Everything is connected. And I am not going to try to read that one. But it means in Lakota, it's a Lakota prayer, and it means all my relations. And they include the mountains, the trees, the animals, and the humans. In Christianity, the body of Christ is taught. For just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ in 1 Corinthians 12:12. In the Islamic mysticism belief of Sufism, they believe in the unity of being, Wadat al-Wujud. He who knows himself knows his Lord. Know that you are the reflection of the truth, O beloved. This is attributed to Ibn Arabi. Our last portion of these texts is Jewish Kabbalism. Etz Chaim, or the tree of life, shows interconnectedness to the source. Just as the branches of a tree are interconnected at their roots, so too are all the souls interconnected at their source. This is from the Zohar, Volume 3, 126a. We'll take a few more minutes, reflect on those readings. What feelings, thoughts, and ideas did these readings bring up for you? Let's go ahead and take a few more minutes to journal. Please wrap up your thoughts as we move into the next portion of our service. We will have an opportunity to explore what we've journaled during our discussion following the service. So we are still in need. We're ready for announcements. We're still in need of pallets. We will be picking up additional pallets today and tomorrow, so we're real excited about that. Hopefully, we'll be able to get our first tent built on a foundation. Of course, you're welcome to come to any of our upcoming meetings. We are still just doing Sunday morning at this time. We are looking for those willing to lead services um, for other times or other situations. We were hoping to do something that's more like a healing service. Um, Also, uh, for integration for people that are, that have post-traumatic stress, or even a book club, if that's something that you're interested in. We'd love to have your thoughts um, on those things, anyone who's interested in leading. Our membership is still in the process of being set up, so we haven't quite got it set up. The membership, once we get it set up, is for supporting what we're doing here at Nechama Center. Um, Becoming a member gives you access to our official member chat community via school, facilitated sacrament services, community offerings, spiritual counseling, discounts to retreats, and much more. So when we get that set up, we'll let you know. And you can set up for a minimum, or you can set up for monthly, all types of different options, hopefully, that we'll have available for you. So please join me as we close this portion of our meeting. Our divine, we come before you broken and in need of healing. You are our true guide and creator. Act benevolently toward us for the sake of your holy nature. Renew our mind. Provide for us a good week. Remove from us all harsh decrees. Annul the intentions of our enemies. Foil the plans of our foes. Wipe out every oppressor and adversary from against us. Close the mouths of our accusers. Remove pestilence, sword, famine, captivity, and destruction from us. Withhold any plague that pursues us. Pardon and forgive all our injustices. Blot out and remove our indiscretions from before your eyes. Erase all the records of our indebtedness. Bring us to you in wholeheartedness and sincerity. Send a complete healing to the sick. Shred the evil decreed against us, and remember us with favor. We've come together with intentions of service to the land and all of its inhabitants. It is in our hearts to go forth into the world with the collective consciousness. We encourage you to stay for continued fellowship and conversation around today's topics in our readings. And for those unable to stay, we thank you for being with us and wish you a great week ahead. As we further our conversation, please remember that all perspectives are welcome as we search for the spiritual truth that unites us all. Please remember that We are not a medical or therapeutic organization, and statements made by the moderator or other members of Nechama are their own. We are here discovering and exploring along with you. May peace be with you.